Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. I just got finished doing this look and I'll be uploading it probably sometime tomorrow. I've got to edit, but I did want to go over something new with you. I have the new Becca and Chrissy collab. I was so excited to get this. I'm a huge Becca fan and I love all of their products, but there's been a lot of I guess you could say there's been a lot of people talking about the collab with Chrissy versus the collab that they did with Jaclyn Hill. There's also been some talk that some of the products that are in these palettes are being used over and over and over, just with different names. So I thought what we would do today is some swatch and review of the new Chrissy palette, and then on top of that I do have my Jaclyn Hill palette here, and I thought that we would compare some of the colors today, and I even have some of the other things that are being said that it's the same. So I want to give you guys a very honest opinion about what I think. I do have the Chrissy palette on today and I think it's beautiful. I do have my thoughts on it, but it did turn out really pretty. I really do like both of my I like both of my Becca palettes. So yeah, so let's get started. First of all, it comes in this really pretty foiled packaging. It came straight from Becca. I just ordered from Becca.com. It is in this really pretty packaging. You can see that it says Becca and it says Chrissy. It's kind of a marbled peach, orange, and pink marble. So when you open it up, you get, and it is a little hard for me to open right now because I don't have any fingernails. Okay, so when you open it up, and I don't want to blind you, but this is what you're going to see right here. You're going to see a bronzer, and the bronzer is Malibu. It's called Malibu Soleil. So this is Malibu Soleil, and then you have Rose Gold, which is a highlighter. The this right here is called Hibiscus Bloom, and then this is her signature Beach Nectar highlighter. So I had to think of the word there for a minute. Okay, so if you look at her highlighter and her palette in comparison to the Jaclyn Hill, the blushes do look the same. And I can see where people are making some comparisons between this highlight here, which is it's just rose gold, and the other one in here that she has, which is champagne pop, because they do in the pan look the same. So let's do this together. Let's go ahead and talk about the other products I'm also going to bring in. I happen to have this rose gold in the single. It's right here. And then I have also a limited edition, which is a highlighter called Rust. And then I have one of the champagne splits. This is champagne pop and I believe hyacinth. Okay, so I think you can see that this one is much darker. But I wanted to go ahead and compare the products that I do have. And the reason for that is because I wanted to show you that I do think they're different. I've put them all on my face. I've been using my Jaclyn Hill for a very long time. And I've just gotten the Chrissy. But after putting it on, I really do think that there is a difference. And so I thought that we would go through the differences. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead, since the Chrissy palette is the newest palette, I want to swatch these for you guys. I'm going to go in first to Malibu Soleil, which is the bronzer in this palette. Let me see if I can get some of these swatches from earlier off of my hand first. Okay, so this is Malibu Soleil. You can see that there. It's a very warm bronzer. Very warm. It's very pretty, but it's very warm. It's a definite bronzer. There's no way that you would be able to contour with that. Okay, then as you go into this right here, which is rose gold, this is one of their, normal full-size products. And of course, it feels like Becca quality and all of that sort of thing. I'm going to leave a little bit of a space between each of one of these. But here we go with rose gold. That's what rose gold looks like. It's really a beautiful, beautiful product. Okay. Now, I'm going into her Beach Nectar highlight. You can see there, it's gorgeous. And I'm going to put that here. Like I said, I'm leaving some space because I want us to compare to some others. But that's her Beach Nectar right there. You can see it has a very peachy tone. Very, very peachy. Super peachy. And then, last but not least, I'm going into the, what's it called again? Hibiscus Bloom. So this is the one that some people have said look alike. So I'm going to put it, let me just put it, I'll just put it right here on my arm. You're going to be able to see a difference anyway, especially in true light. Okay, so this is the Hibiscus Bloom. All right, you should be able to see a difference between her highlight and the normal rose gold. Her highlight is much peachier, okay? And I also, in my opinion, I see a lot more shimmer in her blush than what I would normally see when, you know, looking at some of these other products. Okay, so now I'm going into the Jaclyn Hill palette. Now, some of these that have been compared, first of all, I'm going to go into the bronzer. The bronzer is called Amaretto, and it's actually called a blush, but it looks more like a bronzer. So I'm going to put that next to the bronzer in Chrissy's palette, and I want you to see that there is a difference. Can you tell that the one in the Jaclyn palette is much deeper? Most people would use this for a bronzer and not a blush. Okay, now let's go into the next thing. This right here is the bronzer, the highlight in rose gold. I want you to see that it is indeed the same. You can see here, these two are definitely the same. This one and this one. These are the rose gold. One from Chrissy's palette and one from a full size. Okay? Now, if you were going to go into the, what's it called? Shimmering blushed copper. Blushed copper. You'll see that there is a huge difference. Can you see the difference in blushed copper? Okay, so what we have here is we have the two bronzier shades from Becca's Jaclyn Hill palette here and the Chrissy palette here. We have a full size and the Chrissy palette of the, what's it called again? Rose gold. These are the two rose gold. So you can see that it is consistent. The formula seems the same to me. I can't tell any difference. Okay. And then this is just the copper, the blushed copper. And you can see that it's not anything near any of those. Okay. Okay. So we have Chrissy's Highlight Beach Nectar. And then we have her blush, which is called Hibiscus Bloom. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a swatch of Jaclyn's Champagne Pop just so that you have something to reference with. You can see even on the thing. Okay, a lot of people think that Champagne Pop and Beach Nectar are the same. So I want to show you the difference. Can you guys see the difference between those two? Jaclyn's is gold and Chrissy's is very peachy, okay? Now, let me clean my hands so that I can do a good swatch of the blush that's in the Becca palette is called Pamplemousse. And a lot of people think that this is the same as the Chrissy palette. You can see on my finger right there, hopefully. But I'm just going to kind of put that right next door. And I want you to look at, can you see the difference? What I see in person, and I don't know if you can see this one's much darker. The one from Jaclyn's palette is much darker. And the reason that it is coming across as much darker is because there's much more shimmer. It's frostier, the one that's in Chrissy's palette. So her blush, the Hibiscus Bloom, is very different from Pamplemousse, which is in the Jaclyn palette. I do believe that they all have the same. Let me get something to wipe my hands with. My goodness, my goodness. What I think from what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing with my eyes here in person, none of these are the same. I mean, they're just not. They do look similar in the pan, I will admit, but I mean, it's obvious when you put it on your hand, you can see the different colors and the different finishes. I can see very much why people would think that these blushes are the same. They are very close, but when you put this one on, I have it on today, it's very shimmery. It has a lot more shimmer in it than Pamplemousse from the Becca Jaclyn Hill palette. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you guys that there is a difference. They are two different blushes, and when you put them on is when you really see the difference. If I use Pamplemousse from Jaclyn Hill, which I absolutely love Pamplemousse, but I do know that it's a highly pigmented and not frosty, it's more matte kind of blush. And then if I want to use the Chrissy one, I'm going to be getting more shimmer, and that's the reason it appears to be so much more light. It comes across on the face better than in swatches. That's the reason a lot of people, I think, have started going with brush swatches rather than finger swatches. But I really did feel like that I could show you the difference between them all just by, you know, putting them on. Now, I do have this Champagne Split. I shouldn't even have to put this on to show you guys. Not even close, but I'm going to, just because I don't want there to be any hesitation. These are peachy. This is just flat up pink. It is a very, very strong, bright, hot pink. So what I want to say about everything is this. I think that it depends on your skin tone as to which one of these that you would enjoy. If you already have the Jaclyn Hill palette, I would say that you don't have to have the Chrissy palette, but I think that these two palettes cater to two separate groups of people. I think that the Jaclyn Hill palette really caters to people with light to medium skin, very fair to medium skin. I think you can get away with wearing her products here, you know, all the way up to, you know, medium skin tone. The Chrissy palette, I really do feel like it caters to more of medium to deeper skin tones. The colors are more frosty and more shimmery, and I just believe that they would be gorgeous on a really tan skin tone and darker. I think that it's one of those things where if you didn't pick up the Jaclyn Hill palette and you do have deeper skin, definitely get this. I think that it would be worth your money. There's 4 products in here, and yes, a couple of the pans are small, but if you get a brush like I have from you don't have to get the hourglass one, of course, but if you get something that's really small or whatever, but nice and, you know, bendable and it gives a good bit, if you just get any brush and you'll be able to get in there and get the product without any problem. I didn't have any problem, and I really, really love the way that my face is glowing right now is all about her her beach nectar. Beach nectar is all over my face. I feel like it was very complimentary. Even though I'm very fair, I was able to get, you know, with this and use it, and I really like both. Would I choose between the two? No, I want them both. Especially during the summer. If I'm able to get a tan this summer, I'm going to be using this a lot. I'll be using the Chrissy palette a whole lot. And during the winter is when I'll be pulling out my Jaclyn Hill because I won't be quite as dark complected. And I do think that they cater to two different groups in that way. And I do want you to see that there is such a difference in the two palettes. I know that a lot of people like to start drama about, you know, that Becca's, you know, just recycling products and that sort of thing. Yes, there is, you know, a full size of rose gold that you know, you're getting in here. You're getting the same color and it's one of their normal things. But it's not like they renamed it and then put it in there. I mean, you know, they have labeled it correctly. The other colors are new. Now, as far as the blush, I don't have any Becca blushes other than the one that's in my split. And, you know, so if Hibiscus Bloom is, you know, a regular color from Becca, I wouldn't know because I don't own any of their blushes. But I will say that it's gorgeous. I love Malibu Soleil, the bronzer in this palette. I think that it just is gorgeous here. And then I just sort of layered on the blush, and then of course Beach Nectar. I think that both palettes are beautiful. I think both palettes are worth the money, and I would say especially if you're a collector, I think that you can get use out of both because you can use one at, you know, one time of the year and the other at the other time of year. All I can really do, guys, is tell you what I see. What I see is the same exact texture, the same exact kind of pigmentation. It definitely is the same kind of quality that you would find in any of Becca's products. And as you, I mean, you can see I have quite a few Becca products, and this is just about half of what I pulled out of my full size. So I absolutely love both. I like that I have both. They're not the same, and I think that you just need to decide for yourself if it's something that you really need or not. If you already have another palette of highlighter, bronzer, and blush that you use during the winter time, then no, you probably don't need the one from Chrissy's collab. But if you're a collector like me and Becca is one of your favorites, then I would say go get it. It's worth it. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed using it. I enjoyed putting it on. I think that it has turned out to be a very, very pretty skin match or skin tone match for me. And yeah, please forgive the wilting Mother's Day flowers in the background. I am sitting in my living room and I'm trying to film a video for you guys. I will get this look up as soon as possible where you can see me actually using the Chrissy palette. I think that all of Becca's products are beautiful. The only thing that I really can say that I was not happy with was the eyeshadow palette that came out with the Jaclyn Hill collection. I did not like that. It was not typical Becca quality, and I did return that. I will say this. I don't like it when companies say something is limited edition and you run to your computers at a certain time and you're waiting and you're refreshing and you're refreshing, trying to get that limited edition product, and then the next thing you know, it's coming out. If you look at the timeline from when Becca released certain things, it's very easy to see that it was a well-coordinated plan by Becca to release the Jaclyn palette and then to make her product in a full size, you know, as a permanent collection, and then also bring in the splits. So what I would say is I don't like the way that companies kind of do those things, but at the same time, you got to respect the game. And, you know, they are trying to, you know, sell and make as much off of their products as they possibly can. So as a consumer, you just have to decide what you want and what you like, and purchase accordingly. So if, you know, there is a palette that comes out and they say it's limited edition and that this is the only time you're going to see champagne pop, which we see now that that was not the case. Well, you've got your palette, you've got all these other colors, it's all in one place, it's nice and thin, and you can travel with it, and it's great. If you love it enough, then you'll get the full size when they come out with it later. If, you know, all you need is just this one palette and you don't feel like you need a backup of it, like I did. I felt like I needed a backup of Champagne Pop because it's my favorite, all-time favorite highlighter. I absolutely love it. But if you don't feel like you need a backup of it, then don't buy the full size. So just be an educated consumer. It doesn't have to be, you know, anything about drama. It doesn't have to be that you're hating. I mean, you know, don't hate the player, hate the game is what they say. And I agree with that, you know. They're a company. They're a multi-million-dollar company, and they're trying to make as much as they possibly can. Are they overly deceptive? No, not in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Everybody has theirs. But I could just, you know, only sit here and show you from what I have and be totally honest. I do believe that you guys trust me, and I do believe that I've established with you guys that I am a very honest, very straightforward person. I wouldn't sit here and do arm swatches and discuss it with you if I didn't think that, you know, it really is a different product. It's the same quality as Becca, you know, usually puts out. Nothing, you know, nothing less than what I would have expected. But I do believe it's different. So if you already have a full size of the Champagne Pop and you have other blushes and things that you like, then you may want to pass on this. It's just up to you. I'm more of a makeup collector. Becca is slowly, if not already, become my favorite high-end brand. I don't think that Becca has done anything that is immoral or wrong. You know, I think that they're doing what a lot of things, you know, a lot of companies do. I mean, Too Faced has been doing some questionable activities lately too, but I think that all the companies do things behind the scenes that we don't know about. So if you don't know about it and you enjoy the product, then who cares about the drama? And that's just the way that I look at it. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review and swatch video. I hope that you enjoy the fact that I was able to pull in some of the other products that people have been saying are the same and show you that they're not. Some of them are very, very similar, but it doesn't make them the same. I hope that you can appreciate that I'm looking out for you and your purchasing. I hope that I can save you some money by showing you the products and that sort of thing. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those down there in the comment section. I wanted to let you guys know that I love you. And yeah, that's going to be it. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe before you leave if you haven't already. I'll talk to you later. Bye.